Let's talk about the worst dating experience. Hi everyone! My name is Eun Park and I'm a North Korean defector who escaped for freedom. Today, here is my special friend that I invited today in my home. Let her give a chance to introduce herself.
Hello, my name is Grace Moon and I'm Uni's friend. And I'm also a freelance journalist in Seoul, South Korea. And what are we talking about today?
Today, it's very, very exciting, the topic. It's dating.
Do, do, do.
So we are gonna talking about the dating culture in North Korea specifically. You never heard of that kind of stuff from the media. So are you exciting? Everyone.
I have so many questions.
Okay, let's dive into the main topic.
Okay, can I ask you the first question?
Yeah, sure. Okay. I'm ready for it.
Okay. So what's it like going on a date in North Korea? How do you find someone to go on a date with?
Oh my God, it's a completely different world in North Korea because there is no internet and we are pretty old-fashioned.
No Tinder.
I never heard of Tinder and Bumble and coffee and bagel.
Coffee meets bagel. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never tried a coffee meets bagel. Maybe I should try once. So we don't have that type of application that we can meet people from other countries. In North Korea, we are very strict to travel, the domestic travel. And we meet the guy and the girl that we like through mutual friends. Or maybe parents introduce.
So kind of like maybe South Korea's 소개팅?
Yeah, that's right. Blind dating.
Like 소개팅 is like when your friend introduces you, they're two friends together, like blind date kind of.
Yeah, that's a similar way to meet the guys. And also very brave guys. On the street, randomly the brave guys approach the girl they like and they are attracted and ask a number because we don't have the phone number and a phone in North Korea. So they asked the girls the telephone number, the gym number, house number. We don't like at the time when I was young, there is no phone in North Korea. Now it's pretty much like I think 80% North Korean people are using the handphone. But when I was young, when I was like college student, only telephone number.
So what if like a guy, you give them your telephone number and they call ding, and then your like mother or father says, "Who is this?"
But they don't say anything. They just wait until they hear my voice. Or if I don't like the guy who asked me my telephone number, I just gave him the fake number. And then we made a joke about it among our girlfriends. Hey, today the guy approached me and asked my telephone number. I gave him fake number.
It's kind of similar to what people do in America too.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've done it before.
Okay.
Just type random number in my phone.
But I wonder when the Tinder and the Bumble kind of stuff came out first.
I don't know, but I started using it in college. Like my first year in college because before that I never dated. And when I first came to college, everyone says, you need to download Tinder. Everyone's swiping, but then I tried it and it was really fun. When was the first time you used Tinder?
For me, I think it's a pretty long time ago, 5 or 6 years ago. It was my first experience to swap left and right because my gay friend introduced me. But it was good for me because at the time my English was very basic, so I couldn't have deep conversation. So I can only see the professional things from the guy. And my purpose was just learning English and exchange the language.
It's a good way to exchange.
But now it's oh my God, it's a shit actually. Many trash is there. Only one or two treasures in Tinder or Bumble.
So, like, what's been like? How's dating been like in South Korea compared to maybe? Do you have any interesting stories about dating in North Korea? Where would you go?
That's a very good question.
Like cafe?
There is no cafe. Only I think in capital city Pyongyang, the cafe businesses just expanded. But in Wonsan, which is the area that I'm from, there's no cafe there. Because in 2012, I never heard of the name of the cafe, and then coffee also. But nowadays, I think the young generation go to cafe and to date with her boyfriend or his girlfriends. But it's pretty expensive. North Korea, not the country that kind of like not same the country that South Korean people do like enjoy their lives. Still, many people are hunger and no basic needs. So for buying the 1 cup of coffee, it's the way of that people can buy 1 kilogram of rice. It's too expensive. So if you go to cafe in Pyongyang, only 2 or 3 couples there. Not like South Korea, not like America. But it's very different. So we had dating in our empty room without parents. So we can fall in love and we can have sex. And cooking.
Cooking together?
Okay. Cooking together. But usually the guys don't cook a lot. And also some restaurants, but only rich couple can go to, buy the food at the restaurant.
So
that's it.
Maybe we can talk about sex. Like, what is the North Korea's like perception about like, kissing on the street or having sex?
Oh my, how dare you talking about that kind of topic in North Korea? No way. It's a very, very like traditional way of dating life. It's going on in North Korea. So having, holding hands even also very like how can I say weird though in North Korea. All the people criticize the young people who are holding hands together on the street in the public. But even kissing, no, you have to go to mental hospital or you have to be punished or you have to be suspected. Maybe you can be suspected that person who already watched the South Korean dramas and American movies. So accept the westernized culture, it means. So it's not allowed to have a kiss and like hugging each other and like a skinship. No!
So can I ask you one more thing? Like, I'm really in like America, they talk a lot about like love languages. Like some people like giving gifts or saying I love you or skinship, hugging. How do people in North Korea like express their love for someone else?
It's very different. For me, when I was in North Korea, I think most North Korean people don't know the deep meaning of the love to their parents and their friends. I never used I love you to my friend and to my parents. For me, the love means only can be expressed, for my boyfriend and my future husband. And we don't use the I love you a lot in North Korea. And it's only the word for our fiance and future husband and boyfriend. Not among friends and parents. But in America, in South Korea, it's completely different concept of love. I was just surprised actually. Now I am using a lot, but not for the man. I don't know. I feel like if I say maybe something special, I want to say something special to my guy if really like I really like. So I love you. If I say I love you a lot, it doesn't have like a value. So if I say just once, like it means a lot to him. So I want to use in that kind of situation. What about you? Do you use a lot?
I think I'm like you.
Okay.
Like, I don't say it really often. I just, if I really, really, really mean it, then I think I will say it. If there's like a special moment, then I will say it.
Okay.
But I'm used to like saying I love you to my family. I love you to my friends. I love this food. I love this place. Love, love, love.
Yeah, me too. I use a lot to my friends and, the people around me. It's very sweet and so I use a lot, but I don't usually I love you to the guy until I feel strong feeling. Yeah. And
maybe this one? 애교.
Yeah.
This week's special word is 애교. 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 When someone has 애교, it means they act cute with a childlike charm. Some people have natural 애교, while others act overly cute, usually for fun.
That's
I think Uni has a lot of 애교. Example.
How do you know that?
Wait, try. Example. Give them an example.
So for example, when you date with a guy who is older, or maybe with your boyfriend, with like, 오빠, like that. 1 더하기 2는 귀염이, like that. That is 애교. But maybe when I had a dating with a Korean guy, I did a lot. I am very like that kind of person, cute acting, and I do a lot. And also with the Western guys, not used to do it, but usually somehow it's my natural behavior, so I do. But in North Korea, I guess, I think also when I was in North Korea, it's my natural, I think, talent. I can say natural talent. I do 애교 also in North Korea. I did to my boyfriend and even among like close friends. We do also 애교 among the friends. So yeah, it's maybe kind of like a Korean culture, I can say. What about in America?
No, at least maybe it's just me, but I feel really awkward when I do 애교. So like people say do 애교 and I'm like I can't.
Oh, it's like that. Oh, 애교, I can't do that.
I just I don't know, when I went on dates with people in America, it's just we have a conversation, and then if we feel a connection, then we meet again.
Okay.
But
Pretty different.
also, I'm really curious about how love or romance is portrayed in like movies or books. Like, is there anything like, or is it the items that come from that are smuggled into North Korea?
Yeah, it's influenced the South Korean movies and American movies influenced many things to North Korean people. For example, before the dating style was very old-fashioned, just holding hands together, and the guys don't help the woman a lot. But since the young generation exposed themselves to watch South Korean movies and American movies, they learned, oh, guys can also work at the kitchen and help women's work. In North Korea, the men think the outsider work from the man, but the house work is from women. That is the distinguished duty. There is no mixed that duty like in South Korea, in America. For example, when I date with Western guy, if I cooked for him, they usually wash the dishes and kind of things. But in North Korea, never happened in the past, like until too late 2000. But nowadays, young guys help his girlfriend to like clean their house, that kind of. So I can say like that out of information, including the South Korean dramas and American movies, influenced the way of life in North Korea. So what about in America? It's like in South Korea still, the 가부장적인, what is the word?
Patriarchy.
That things going on. But what about in America?
There are, a lot of issues. I feel like gender roles are still really big in America, but I don't know much about North Korea, but a lot has gotten better, but I don't know. Is there anything especially curious you are about?
So
American
when you date,
culture?
or when you date with a guy, usually in the like Dutch pay stuff, and like in South Korea still the girls expected the man pay.
Dutch pay. I think it really depends, but I think from the dates that I've been on, Dutch pay has become really normalized. So it's like you eat it, it's like, okay, half and half, okay, half and half.
Okay.
Or it's really like if for example, a guy really had a good time and he wants to pay, then he pays, but the girl can also do the same thing. Or
Okay.
girl or whatever partner. Yeah, it's totally normalized, I'd say.
That is what I learned from the Western guys that I date. because somehow I think, in the other hand, what I think about it, think about the gender roles and the equality between the man and woman. We always say, oh, man and woman has to be equal, but usually the girls are expected to pay. The guy pays for. It is not the what we say and what we act is completely different. So I usually, when I date with like the guys from other countries, I know how to, the date belong with the guy. And it's when you pay for it, it means you have a power too.
Yes.
What is the big differences, the dating with Western guy and South Korean guy?
There's not that big difference. I think it just depends on each individual. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm not fluent in Korean, so sometimes it's really hard for me to express my emotions in Korean. And I think it's a really big deal.
Okay.
But that's the hardest part, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah. So another thing I'm curious about is what's the difference in your dating experience when you're seeing someone like from North Korea or someone here in South Korea?
Yeah, that's very interesting. I can say in North Korea, normally, as I mentioned before, the guys are very 가부장적인 patriarchy. The culture is going on in North Korea, so guys tend to be very stiff and rigid. That is the attractiveness in North Korea, but in South Korea, guys can be warm and cute. So, and also, for example, South Korean guys wanna open the door for the woman and, just move the chair for her, that kind of things, like treat the very warm way and very nice way. But in North Korea, it never happened when I was there. But because of South Korean dramas, I can say now young generation can learn many things from the South Korean dramas. That is the big differences.
And also, like in North Korea, is like the concept of like LGBTQ and queer communities and queer love. Do they talk about it?
No, there is no word of gay and lesbian, bisexual. We never discussed that topic in North Korea, and then I didn't learn about that words of gay and LGBTQ. So that is illegal. Actually,
Illegal.
you can be executed.
Wow.
So now, that's the thing. Let's talk about the worst dating experience, especially from the Tinder and Bumble. There are lots of trust. Yeah, believe me. Oh, what is the worst experience you had?
There's so many.
So okay, just one. Just pick
one?
one. Okay.
Okay. So one time when I was in New York, this guy I met on Tinder, we went to the arcade, like place where you play games.
Okay.
And I said, oh, that sounds really fun. And so we went, and then we were playing like air hockey. Air hockey 알아요?
Oh, I don't know. 이렇게.
아니요, 이렇게 하는 거예요.
Okay. I know.
Air hockey. And I beat him. I think I beat him pretty bad, like 10-2 or something.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he got so mad, and he like threw the thing, and he was like, beep, 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 beep. You know what? F this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to play with you anymore. And then he just left. And so I didn't know. Yeah, that was a really bad experience.
Oh, what a loser.
Yeah, he lost, and he got really mad at me and was like screaming at me at the arcade. And then I just went home.
Oh my god, that is the worst.
It was really bad. What about you?
For me, so a long time ago, I met the guy from Tinder, and then we're supposed to have dinner. And then I think before meeting, I usually do calling or FaceTime. But at the time, I didn't do the FaceTime. I just calling. And then I listened to his voice. Oh, okay, why not? And then go there. Oh my God, he is very loser. And then, I couldn't be there for a while because he talked about the last experience of like a dating experience with the girls he met. And then he mentioned that the one girl he dated like a vomit. Like he actually before the day he met the other girl.
The day before he met you?
So the other girl, and then he talked about it, and the girl like got drunk and then vomit in his shoes, and then he wear the same shoes
While he was meeting you.
And then he mentioned that. Like, look at this, the girl is crazy girl vomit on my shoes. And then I look at it while we had dinner.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so gross and oh my god, it's that guy doesn't have like a brain.
Also, it's not really, it's so rude because he's on a date with you.
Yeah. And then I don't want to hear about the other experience from previous one.
Yeah.
And what I did, hey,
Goodbye.
I'm so sorry. And then while we had dinner, hey, I will go home. You're not the guy that I have to date. I have to deserve better than this. And then I left. That was my worst dating ever.
I'm glad you just left though. No time to waste.
Oh my god. At least in North Korea, in South Korea, I never had that kind of experience. But I can say Tinder or Bumble contribute to a lot of things to people. Especially I met nice guys and nice people from Tinder and Bumble. But in the other hand, we had a worst dating life too.
Sometimes I just wish I could meet people in a really like natural way, like on the street or at a bookstore. But I feel like it's not really realistic because everyone's so busy today.
And because of the lots of choices, we just swiping a lot. We don't have much patience.
그게 뭐 도파민 혹시 아세요? Dopamine, that dopamine we get from social media. I feel like it's the same for Tinder. It's just we get so addicted to swiping, matching.
It's bad. I wish the day we can meet the guy and the girl you like on the street, like what our parents did. You know, that is very old-fashioned. I love the way the dating life in North Korea. I prefer that life than in South Korea, in United States. Yeah, that is the story of dating story of North Korea and South Korea and America. So I'm sure you had also worst dating life. So if you have experience, please comment below and share your personal experience. So make this community warmer and stronger, more connected. So please don't forget to subscribe and support my channel. Thank you for being here, and then I am very appreciated. Bye guys, see you next time.
See you.